I think as you're sharing too, it's the understanding that even with step one, that leads into that empathy factor. It doesn't always have to be the words that they're saying, right? Like we can get into conversations with people just based on what you talked about earlier, that aura. I go into a coffee shop and I can read and listen to a person without them ever having to say anything to me other than maybe what's your order, right? But it's like, how are they saying it? What is their body language? Are they making eye contact? Are they looking down?
Yeah.
I can actually add and help and serve and ask the right question instead of just, how are you today? Good. Okay, good. And then that's the end of the conversation. Be like, wow, that tattoo is really rad. What inspired you to get that? Now they just went from being just a checker outer, right, to a human being.
Yeah.
And it creates an actual conversation that then leads to relationship. And I can tell you, every time I go to that coffee shop, I get my extra shot of espresso for free, or I get my little note on my top of my cup that then pours back into me. Have an amazing day. Keep smiling, right? And so I think if we looked to networking or connection on even just those little people, what you would call them little, they're just the same as you. So start
Yeah.
connecting in order to see the expansion and the opportunity of your network growing.
So after you would be listening and you would be asking, and then you moved over to be helping. Well, then the real transformative move towards thriving has to be that there's going to be a change. There's going to be something. It's not just, oh, I bring two worlds together and they just keep adding and adding. The reality, it's the combination of the two to figure out something new that you're going to create that's going to connect with the world, right? It's connecting with others. And that's that combined factor. If you're bringing a consulting solution that's going to change the way, let's say you're providing marketing data that's going to actually change the way that your marketing messaging goes to other companies and to your clients and to your customers. Well, that's like a whole new thing that you've created. That change takes a little bit of strength and takes a little bit of overcoming your fears, right? Because you got stuck into a certain way, like, oh, I like the way things have been working, but now I have to make the adjustment to move to do something different. There is a risk. There is a leap. There's a leap of faith. There is a move that you need to make. And it's moving through your fear into courage that is really that next step. So you have to be courageous in this next step of when you're making the connection to move together to thrive, right? And this
Yeah.
is true about life, right? Because we all are hit different stages in our lives and things that mean stuff to us. And there's probably that moment when you have to make a change, make an adjustment, improve who you are, maybe recognize that you need a little bit of help, and that person from the outside who's been helping you is going to help you get to that next level that you're looking to achieve and move onward and upward. So that moving through fear into courage, that's
Mhm.
being courageous, and that's embracing your fears and moving through them. We all have them. We wouldn't be human if we didn't. So
Right.
the true connection happens when you've gone through that adjustment period, that battle of two different views, because they're not always in line and they're not always the same. You have to work together to figure out how to move that forward. It happens in personal relationships. It happens when you ever remember that lovely expression? You started dating, you have all these things in common and you started seeing the overlap together and things are working great. But now you want to take things, quote unquote, to the next level, right?
Right.
And
Right.
you know that means that there's going to be a sacrifice. There's going to be a change to the way you do things. You probably, as that single dude, like, are going to
Yeah.
have to get rid of some things in your single bachelor pad or whatever it may
Right.
be,
It's like
right?
that honeymoon phase is over. Now we have to get into the next level of
It's
relationship.
it's embracing the fact that you have to be courageous to not only know that by
Yeah.
doing this, that the two together become better as one.
Yeah.